on the way back to Buffalo, on my way to Buffalo, I was listening to some of your podcasts, and they're pretty damn good.
You listen with me, Bob, and Christian?
There's a new feature on the iPhone where you can select people that you want to listen to, and I just listened to you talk.
Did you listen with me, Bob, and Christian, though?
Yeah, I did. It was pretty good.
That one was pretty funny.
Yeah, Bobby's got some good stories.
Mr. Bob. Nashville Bob. Okay, let me just make sure this
I miss you, Bobby.
Miss you, Bobby. Bobby. Okay, cool. We're good.
Mr. Teacher Man.
Facts. Big teacher, Mr. Bob. Yeah, and he was teaching I think he was teaching the same thing that Mr. Gelos taught. You had Mr. Gelos, right?
Yeah, economics.
Yeah, dude. I fucking really like Mr. Gelos.
I do
like
too. I reached out to him recently and I told him how much I appreciated his teach, because he was like the only teacher that I know there's a lot of teachers that were great, but he was like one of the only teachers that like gave you like valuable information that you would use outside of school.
That's a fact. Yeah,
really. Like tell you how to save money.
I know, yeah. I remember him, but yeah.
This is how you save money, kids.
Some shit that's not super obvious to like people in Niagara Falls. Like, okay, you need to like get a paycheck, then you keep some of the money. You could spend some of it, but like.
Yeah, and then he was also, I remember he did a bunch of push-ups one time, and I was really impressed. I was like, damn, Mr. Gelos,
I remember that too.
You got gains, boy.
No, yeah, all the kids, that would like fire the kids up and then like kind of get them on his side.
But that was a class where it was like, it was like a legit class, but a lot of people treated it as like a bullshit class as well. Mm-hmm. So that's like every class in Niagara Falls, though, I guess, where there's just going to be an abundance of students that I guess don't care, but I remember he would like have to break up fights all the time.
And he's like 70, just like, but like he was doing push-ups, so I think he was preparing for the fights.
I think
when he would do push-ups to prepare for the fights.
It's the red wine, the old.
That's what he said.
No, I just think Italian men like to drink red wine, and I think it does something to them.
Puts lead in your pencil.
It makes them last longer.
Yeah. Last longer with push-ups, and then having to deal with fucking crazy fucking kids.
Really crazy kids.
Really crazy kids.
Well, that's what makes people from Niagara Falls who they are. That's why I love Niagara Falls, because it opens you up to some crazy, crazy shit early on. And so when you go out into the real world, you're like, oh, this is not that bad.
It's the shit that's already like, yeah, exactly. I was talking to somebody. I was talking to one of my old managers about that. How it's kind of like a melting pot of everything.
Where's he from? Your manager?
She's from Niagara Falls too, yeah. And
I just assumed her gender. I'm terrible. I'm sorry.
Rachel. No, I'm just kidding, Rachel. Love you, Rachel. No, but yeah, we were just saying how it's like a melting pot, and like how other like schools around here, like whatever, Wheatfield, North Tonawanda, it's like mostly just white kids.
It is,
and that's why they all get like just like become racist, just because there's no like other ethnicities, and they just kind of closet themselves to just all white people.
But there's like, I think like people that go to school in Niagara Falls or lived in Niagara Falls, there's something to those people, and like there's like a glue that when you get together, you get with someone from Niagara, like me and you, like there's just something like we know where we both came from, like we know the hardships of living and coming from Niagara Falls, what that means. And so like especially like when you see someone you haven't seen in a long time and you talk, like I think it comes back instantly. It's like, oh shit, I know who you are, like I know what you've seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Or like even just going to Niagara Falls High School specifically, like just super relatable to people just because it's so crazy.
Even people that you don't really know, like, I mean, if you haven't seen someone in 8-9 years, like even that, like it's just something there. It's like I think it's just like the humble beginnings. Like you came from something and you made something out of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Humble beginnings.
Gotta love Niagara Falls. Gotta love it.
I just think there's so many memories.
No, yeah, I mean. The one thing that I just remembered, there's like a drawing here on a sheet of plywood, and the one night I was having a party here, and I think Fritz and Evan and then maybe one more of your pals were here, and we were like doodling on this. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if this is the same night or if it's a separate.
In the basement?
Yeah. No, yeah. It was like a crazy party. There was a lot of people, and we were drawing on this. I don't know if it was the same night, but one of the nights we were drawing on this, and then maybe it was a separate night. You're like, man, there's some like really sketchy people like me, Evan, and we're just gonna get out of here. And I was like, fuck.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that. And then
I don't remember it.
no, yeah, probably. Yeah.
I was probably really drunk.
Yeah, Bud Light Orange or Bud Light Lime rather, not Bud Light Orange.
Lime-A-Ritas.
Lime, baby. But no, yeah, you guys left, and then these kids that were the sketchy kids that you pointed out, they they stole a bunch of money out of my mom's purse.
Oh, so I was right.
Our phone. Yeah.
I might could have been my phone.
Holy shit.
Hey.
Good thing you didn't leave your purse in the living room.
It's
though.
Niagara Falls senses, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, you giveth, you take. You know, you got to have a good time. You know, somebody's got to get the ass end of the joke. But then
Yeah.
I bought my mom a new phone.
Hey, that was nice of you.
Yeah.
I remember the party though, because I forgot that Evan and like Max were there. Because now that I recall, I'm pretty sure I did a portrait of Max on that day.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then he was like sitting in front of one of the lamps. I remember, and you were like getting like some lighting on his face,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. Then
Yeah.
all the like kids that were about to steal, they're like, all right, we got these fucking dumbasses.
Look at these dumbasses drawing
yeah,
pictures. Look at these little white boys drawing pictures. We're gonna rob these people.
We got them preoccupied in the basement. And then they just went upstairs and went in the living room and fucking.
They probably brought it up. They're probably like, I heard you can draw. You should just draw a portrait of someone and distract everyone while we rob these people.
Exactly. Fuck. But yeah, that was probably the last party that Max and Evan ever came to my house. I think that was the one and only one.
Yeah. Hey, well,
No, there were some good ones though. There were some good non-thievery, non-swashbuckling happening here. There was some good fun happening.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot of beer pong happening too.
Lots of beer pong.
And that was a cool thing about, I mean, like, we were in the basement, like, just like making art, like, basically the whole time, like, for a big part of it. And like, people were like interested in it. And that was, I don't know, I've never experienced that anywhere else. Like, literally any party I've ever been to in my life, like, there was never anyone like making art there. And like, that's what we were doing. And people like dug it. They're like, oh shit, you guys are making art. That's cool. I don't know.
I remember. Yeah, that's a good point. I can't say I've been to any other where they're like we're doing full scale like portraits with like lighting.
That's some well-to-do pinky up high society shit. That's
I know,
what they
with
do.
like fucking oil crayon fucking.
There was oil crayons. Good memory.
Yeah, facts.
Damn.
They were probably like the shitty ones that you get from like Hobby Lobby that just have like the no-name brand.
Use your 40% off coupon.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they do that anymore.
No, they don't.
They caught on to
Michael's. I think Michael's got rid of it, and then Hobby Lobby got rid of it. This is like
they don't want to support the artists.
Yeah, they want to support the church. God.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm pretty
Hobby
sure
Lobby.
because I think Hobby Lobby's closed on Sundays.
They're closed on Sundays, and they don't hire gay people.
Oh my god! And I was gonna say they probably funded a bunch of like anti-gay like Trump
did.
shit. I bet
They did.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the Hobby Lobby's not a good place, but they're the cheapest and probably some of the best materials you're gonna get.
Got the Fritzdoesart cosign.
Literally.
No sponsor either. But
My palette knife is from Hobby Lobby, and that's the only one that's good. Like the only palette, like that's the only tool I really like. I mean, I use all the time, and it's from Hobby Lobby. So every time I go there, I feel like I'm supporting something terrible. But
fuck.
you kind of just
But they got the deals.
They got
The devil's got the deals.
What is-
Devil's got the deals.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions. I don't know if that's relatable, but it sounded like it was.
Sounded pretty solid.
That's a good quote.
Fucking A. But so do you like go through palette knives often then? Or you've probably vetted with your process, you know a good from a shitty palette knife.
Well,
pretty
there's
quick,
only
I
one,
would-
like I said, and it's the one from Hobby Lobby. And I just put super glue back in them. They break, and then I super glue them back together.
Mhm. Holy shit. How is that attic studio at your parents' place doing?
It's yeah. I guess that's like my storage now. If anyone wants to rob me, it's
A bunch of Fritz Proctor, the fourth originals.
it's just full of old paintings and shit. But that I think there's something to like painting in a really shitty place, like making like your studio or your practice, whatever you do, doing it in a really shitty place. I think there's something to that. Like in the winter when I would paint in there, I would have to wear like a huge winter jacket, 2 sweaters, 2 pairs of pants, and like winter gloves to paint. I don't know that. And then when you like get out of that, you feel good. You're like, oh shit, it's not cold.
Yeah.
It's like, again, like humble beginnings. Like you just gotta, I mean, those moments, it's like training. It is training. It's like putting yourself in the worst conditions early on, and then hopefully it'll set you up for better things in the future. I just, that's like a way I look at life. So like working in there, I just thought it was like, that's what I was doing. I was just like suffering for better in the future.
How's the studio looking now? It looks like a little basement situation.
it
it
went-
kind of looks like my basement.
I went from the ceiling to the basement. Now I'm in my studio, my shared house in Boston. I live with all Thai people, all
wow.
people from Thailand. I'm the only I'm like just like a white dude living with a bunch of people from Thailand. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I my studio's in the basement now, and that's where I've been doing it since. And it seems to be working out. It flooded once,
Oh shit!
pretty bad, and
Was that snow related?
it was no, a pipe bursted and it just started flooding.
Oh
So
fuck! Did it ruin anything?
no paintings were ruined, but it definitely sucked. And then again, I was just reminded of like okay, I gotta train today. This is training. I gotta avoid the sewage water on my feet.
How big is it down there?
It's you could probably fit like 50 bodies.
So like maybe my basement then.
Yeah, it's like your basement.
Probably. Is it short down there? Is it like you gotta kneel over?
Yeah, I hit my head.
Oh fuck.
And the attic too. I would hit my head all the time.
In the attic at your parents' place.
Yeah.
That looked really short. I'm pretty sure. And you had like
Yeah, well, I had to like build that too. Like it was crazy. It was just a really shitty attic, and then I had to like redo the whole thing, and it wasn't insulated or nothing. It was just, and I tried to like sleep in there too. I thought I could like live in there, but then like when I was sleeping, like I would like wake up and there'd be like bugs all over me. Like, this doesn't work.
fucking sandflies.
Like I remember I tried to sleep in there, and I like woke up in the middle of the night like freezing cold. And I was like, this is not a good idea.
Can't suffer that much.
No.
Just maybe suffer a little bit.
Yeah, just a little suffer is good for you.
But then so you worked in a sign shop here, right? Well, you worked at the May of the Mist, right? The Cave of the Winds.
Yeah, I worked for the New York State Parks, the Cave of the Winds, and then I got a job as a sign painter with the New York State Parks. And so I did that for quite some time. I think like four years, just making signs for the government. And then I left that job, and then I got basically the same job in Massachusetts, which
Wow.
I was thinking like, who's gonna hire me? And I
Uh-huh.
ended up getting the job. So I
Wow.
was doing that in Massachusetts for like a year, and then I got lucky, and I started twerking on
Since I
TikTok.
say shaking your ass.
I started shaking my ass on TikTok, and and people liked my ass.
Kid's got a nice ass. So it was literally the same exact job from Niagara Falls.
It was different, like the job title, like what it was described as, was a sign painter. So it essentially was the same job, but in New York State, I wasn't installing too many signs. This job was basically just like going around Boston, going around basically Massachusetts, like to the beaches and stuff, and like all these cool parks, and just installing signs. So it was a pretty cool job. I enjoyed it a lot, but it's better to just work for yourself. You're happier that way.
So then that brings us to the TikTok.
Yeah.
So what was like the earliest inception of the way you make TikToks? Was it the same as how it is now, or did it kind of evolve a little bit?
Yeah, it's just been evolving as I go. I don't know what I'm doing, but it seemed like I just figured something out. What happened was I was just so this is a practice that I already had with my painting. I would mix colors and match them to like those paint cards from Home Depot. Just because like instead of trying to guess what color I needed for a painting, I would just take these like Home Depot paint cards and put it against the canvas and say, okay, I need this color here. So then I would mix the color perfect. And then one day my wife was watching me do this, and she was like, oh, that's real therapeutic. You should post it online. I'm like, what do you mean? Okay, I'll try it out. We were like, it was like in the middle of the beginning of the pandemic. We had a lot of time on our hands, and I was just like, okay, I'll try it out. And it just started, my phone just started going,
wow.
And then
Right away, the first one?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, wow.
It got like thousands of views, and I was like, oh shit, I'm onto something here.
Really?
And so I just kept going. It just like...
And you probably had to was your lighting set up like super meager back then, and you're kind of evolving it?
Yeah, everything's just evolving. I mean, it's basically still the same thing.
Really?
I'm using like the cheapest lights you can get at Home Depot, like just like, I don't know, like...
Are they like floodlights?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just really shitty stuff. And then I have one of those like $50 tables, like just plastic tables, and then a piece of glass and a piece of foam. And
Wow, that's all you need, folks. You just need a nice ass. You need a piece of foam from a king mattress, and then you too can be a multimillionaire.
not a
Like
multi-millionaire.
this guy.
Definitely not. Far from it. TikTok doesn't pay good.
No, it doesn't.
Not as good as you would think it would. I'll tell you exactly.
Oh
Actually,
yeah, let's hear it. Yeah.
So my most view video is like 30 million views, which is pretty crazy.
Insane.
How much do you think? Well, that's a dumb game because that always ends up being like you ask someone like,
Yeah.
what do you think, and then they give you an answer that like is like overshot
Yeah,
or like
blow you out the water.
it's like, well, this isn't a good story,
Yeah,
so I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
So like for 30 million views, I guess it was like $1,500.
Oh wow. Yeah, I probably would have overestimated.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, then I would have been good. I would have been like, hey, look I didn't get paid that much.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, but then there's other places to make money. That's not where I make my money. But yeah, it's not, well, because it's a new app. I mean, like YouTube and shit and like Instagram have been around for a while, especially YouTube. Like the monetization for YouTube is insane in comparison. But yeah, it's a new app. At least they pay you. They don't have to pay you.
Wow.
So.
But you have some sponsors, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. What you want to shout out your sponsors here, and then with my 30 views here, I'll get $1 million too.
You can save 15% on OnlyFans by using code
Fritzy Titsy. Fritzy Titsy. That's funny.
We should put some context to the podcast. When was the last time we saw each other, Kyle? It's been a long time.
I know. People will probably just think that that we don't know each other.
It's been a while, man. We've just been on our own artistic paths for a while now.
I'm trying to think. So you came back from FIT, and then you were at UB. So it had to be in that window, right?
Yeah. I got married, and I just isolated myself for a long time. I don't know, because I felt like, not that I like didn't want to be around people, I just felt like the game of painting is like a very individual act, you know?
Yeah.
And so I did this for a while. I was just like, didn't socialize with anyone for a long time. I just worked on painting. But yeah.
And you have a wife too, so.
Yeah,
I mean,
that took up a lot of time. It sucks, but we're here today.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
talking,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
I miss you, Kyle.
Yeah,
I do.
of course. Yeah, it's been such a long time.
Yeah.
Going to like Frankie's Donuts and shit, and getting like their shitty like watery coffee, and then like egg and cheese on like their other like their like egg like our they're like little English muffin things.
Like everyone would freak out about Frankie's. Like, oh, they got the best egg sandwiches, and you know what their secret is?
Roaches.
No, they just put like garlic powder on their sandwich. People like freak out over that. Like, oh, you got the best egg and cheese ever.
No,
Garlic powder.
yeah, so good. The people rob it all the time, and like
Those donuts. You have one Frankie's Donuts, and you feel like you just want to give up. You just want to go to sleep for the rest of the
just
day.
feel like a retired like 60-year-old Italian alcoholic or
And
something.
they want you to feel like that too. They got that promotion, right? It's two for one. So like 2 donuts. I mean, like 1 donut's enough, but 2 donuts is like, I guess, is kind of normal.
If you're
like,
pushing, yeah,
you're like,
that's like the ceiling though.
that's the ceiling for donuts. But then they do 2 for 1, so you have to eat 3.
That's fucking crazy.
And we've been there. We both.
Oh, yeah.
You've eaten 3 donuts and you don't feel good after that. And it's advertised as breakfast food,
yeah, especially
which makes no sense.
Yeah, like we would go there before high school. Fritz would be a senior, I was a junior, and we'd like, and yeah, I think Christian would come with us too. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if we would pull up to school late. I don't think we were bad boys like that. I think we would just go really early, right?
Yeah, and I think we were late sometimes.
Late, yeah. Senioritis, yeah.
Yeah, well, you get to that age and you just don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, the Niagara Falls kind of takes over. It's like, fuck it, let's go get the coffee and a donut.
Especially you're gonna go to college, you have to think to yourself like, I got 4 years after this of this stuff. I got to work 4 years after this. I want to celebrate now. So that's what that age group is. It's just like not giving a shit at all.
Mm-hmm. Fucking. I was gonna say something, but then I forgot. But yeah, and then we were in AP art together.
It was good days.
Those were good times. 2 periods of just art class. Couldn't really beat that.
You can't beat that. And I don't know what it is right now, but I think especially having it at the end of the day, it was great too. It was like just
So good.
like you didn't go home mad. Like I remember like, and I hate school so much. Like I always hated school. I was such a bad student. I failed like every test I took. I would get like a 30 on, and I'd be like proud of that. I'd be like, yo, bro, I got a 30. Like people, oh, I got a 40. Oh, I got a 30. I was terrible. I was a terrible student. But then like once art class was introduced, and especially having it at the end of the day, I mean, you went home happy. You didn't go home depressed.
Like you would have like, it would be like lunch and then maybe one more class, and then you'd be in art class for the rest of the day. And we'd usually be eating lunch in the art class. So then we just go away for a period, then we'd come back for 2 more.
Yeah, that was important. I'm so glad that we both took that class. Everyone who took that class, I think, was evolved from it. It was
Mr. Lynch, baby.
And
then so from there, big city boy, FIT.
Went to FIT.
How was that?
Got chewed up and spit out. First time I ever drank was in New York City. You learn a lot there.
No, I think me and Christian might have tainted you a little bit here before.
Maybe.
I think we might have peppered you a little bit.
My first conscious drinking session is in New York City, and that'll mix you up, especially in New York. Well, the thing about New York is you get everything you want whenever you need. So that access isn't always healthy. But New York's great. It's got the greatest museums ever, and FIT is a phenomenal school. But yeah, I went there for like a year and a half, and then I realized one, I can't afford this. 2, I'm married. I gotta focus on that. We were doing the long distance thing, so I really had to I was in the process of persuading the national, the immigration center. I was what do they call it? USCIS. I was in the process of convincing them that I was financially stable enough to have a wife here in America, and they so I left New York City and moved back here. But yeah, New York is it's a wild ride there. You came and visited a couple times, right?
Yeah. The one time I just saw you in passing somehow. I remember I drove to New York and back in a day just to visit Christian for a couple hours when it was his freshman year, his first semester. And then you just walked by. I was like, oh shit, it's Fritz. And you were walking to some wood shop, and me and my mom were just hanging out with you for 15 minutes. Yeah,
that was the sculpture class, the wood shop. That's crazy. Yeah, I remember I saw someone else too. The kid Tyler Kins. I remember my brother's friend. I was on a subway. It was the worst moment to see someone that you knew too, because I was super depressed. I was taking my wife to the airport, and I wasn't gonna. I didn't know how the next time I was gonna see her was. It could have been a year, could have been 2 years, because we were in the immigration dealing with that bureaucracy and everything. So I'm on I forget what train that takes you to what is it? Is it the L that takes you to the airport? I don't know, but I was on the train going to the airport, and I'm crying because I'm saying goodbye to my wife, and then I see Tyler, and he's like, "Hey, Fritz, how are you?" I had to I had to kind of man up a little bit and hide the tears. Yeah, that was a funny moment. But small world, especially in New York City, you run into people like that. There's crazy times where I see people from Buffalo. I'd be like, whoa, what are you doing here? You just run into people.
That is crazy though. No, I remember you texted me a picture from the student gallery at FIT, and it was a fourth year senior, and it was some really stupid painting of a rabbit coming out of a hat, and you're just what the fuck is
if you wanna get depressed, ladies and gentlemen, go to art school. You put a lot of work in, and you'll see a lot of really shitty art around you. But a lot of great art too.
Yeah, of course. But
yeah, there's a lot of shit out there.
Just the stinkers stick out in the memory.
But and yeah,
no, yeah.
We live in a society where you go to school, and you pay X amount, it's so much money to go to school that they have to pass you on and pat you on the back, and people aren't open to criticism, so people never actually get better at making anything, especially with art. And so there's a lot of that around you, and then you have they have these critique sessions where you got to sit there and talk about shit for an hour, and I remember I had a professor one time, I'm not going to mention his name, but he said that it's easier to say something nice than it is to say something negative. Or is it vice versa? No, it's easier to say something negative than it is to say something nice. Does that make sense? So he was essentially saying that you should always say nice things about people's art when you critique them. You shouldn't give them any honesty at all. You should just tell them that you should find something positive in it. So if it's like a really shitty drawing, you should like bullshit your way into saying somehow that it's good.
And you agree with that?
I do not agree with that.
I know. Yeah, I was gonna say. Wait a second.
I'm making it confusing, more confusing than it needs to be. But yeah, that's the kind of bullshit that you can deal with.
But yeah, that's what it's like, because it's just so, I don't know. But then I feel like people don't know how to critique artwork in like a constructive manner, and they're just like trying to just like tear you apart.
Oh yeah, well that's not healthy either. But I mean, honesty is helpful sometimes.
Oh yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. I even remember being in that Albright Knox like future curators program where everyone's just kind of trying to
Oh, that's right, you did do that.
trying
Yeah,
to
it was-
like peacock their like art vocabulary abilities and like
trigger like using like whatever there's like a book that you get when you go to art school. It's like a book that's invisible, but yeah, everyone knows it, and it's all these words that you have to say, like juxtaposition, organic, retrospective, what is some other one? There's a lot of them. But they use them so out of context, and they use them like whenever they can, and they all get excited to use it. Like sometimes they all say it at the same time. They're like
yeah.
yeah, there's some stupid words.
There was this girl in there, and we were we were talking about like paint, you know, as art people do, and we said like acrylic, and she was like, oh, like the stuff that like goes on like for nails, and she was in that, and like all the good art kids from our school got denied who actually like gave a fuck and painted for years, and this girl didn't know.
Yeah, that sucks. Poor, yeah. It's depressing, honestly.
What are you gonna do?
Like really though, if you want to get depressed, pursue a career in the arts and go to school for it. You'll be depressed.
And then like meet the people that do it, and like
I'm just joking. Art is great.
Art's great all the time. It always is. Or when you meet like just like art professors that are like just all hanging out with each other, and they're all just like doing their own like douchey thing from like college. Oh boy, that's something else that'll make you love it too.
And there's so many
there's good professors though too.
There's great professors, and they stand out more than anything, but it's fun to talk shit about bad professors. And there's so many people take on that role and get put in that position who are just power hungry. I mean, what is it called? Power hungry. They want power over people. Mm-hmm. People who want to just like tell people what to do, boss them around, and like criticize them and always feel on top. It's kind of like the same mentality that people have with like cops and stuff, like people who are power hungry. And there's a lot of that, I guess, everywhere in life, especially like, you know, if you've worked a job anywhere in your life, you know, there's a lot of assholes out there. But it's unfortunate to think that you pay how much money to go to school and you have people like that teaching you, you know. It's depressing, again, like I said.
How are the professors at UB as opposed to FIT? What are just the main differences, I guess, between FIT and UB? I'm sure there's stark differences.
The difference is this is like the major difference, is that UB is a research-based school and FIT is more not a research-based school, I guess you could say. And UB deals with a lot more like conceptual ideas about art, like in terms of like the philosophy and like you know, having an object and like talking about like a found object for a long time in its context, you know, things like this. And then at FIT, which I loved about FIT, and you know, I liked this more than anything. It was more hands-on. It was more material. It was painting. It was actually like, you know, today we're going to build a canvas and make a painting, and we're not going to just talk about it. So that's the major, I mean, but at UB there definitely was that in some moments, but the comparison is the contrast is huge between the two in terms of that, because FIT was painting like all the time, and UB was a lot more discussing than actually, not to badmouth UB, than actual work. You know,
oh really?
More talk than work.
Were there any like people that you recognize at UB from Niagara Falls or anything in that program there? Any familiar faces? Not that you have to like, you don't got to say their name or anything, but. Or was it like some New York kids or something there?
I feel like UB is all people from Long Island.
Long Island, yeah. Same for Buff State, or like the Bronx and stuff. Yeah.
You know that why that is, right? It's because it's the furthest part in New York that you could stay in the SUNY system. So people just want to get away from home, and so they go to the opposite part of New York State. And so that's why in like FIT there was like a lot of Buffalo kids. Like I knew more people from Buffalo at FIT than I did.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
It's just because everyone wants to get away from home when you go to school.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like Fredonia probably doesn't have that much of an artsy. I feel like Fredonia's like way too far. Like that's like hillbilly sticks.
I know a lot of great artists that went to Fredonia, though. I don't know what their art program is like. I hear it's a party school.
Yeah, that's what I hear too. Yeah, just people.
I don't know anything about Fredonia.
I know. Why do I feel like I've heard about someone from Fredonia as well that is like a well-known art? Or maybe I just had some professors that went to Fredonia.
Yeah, I know a couple of artists that went there.
But fucking A. So you liked FIT more, but you're also fucking had your arms tied with the.
Well, I liked UB. Like it made me like more conscious of other. So what UB did was it introduced me to like many different facets in like the art world, like things that I would have never thought about, like using GPS as a form of art. Like there was a program where we like would like there was a class that we took where we would just like choose a random place on a map and like go there and like document that place and like talk about like just like start bullshitting, like talking art talk about like some random neighborhood. So there was like a lot of like weird like experimental things that we did there that I think were beneficial. But in terms of painting, FIT was the place.
That was the joint. So then after FIT, after UB, big TikTok guy. You probably graduated and worked your job for.
Yeah, I worked
the job here for a little bit and then moved to Boston.
Yeah, so I worked for the New York State Parks full time and went to school full time. So my hands were really tied at that moment in my life. I was just like nonstop, just always working or working on school, and then going back and forth from Thailand, and then eventually my wife finally getting here, and then us kind of trying to figure out what we want to do, where we want to be. You know, she lived here for a solid year. We had a little shitty apartment on Grand Island, as my wife calls it, downtown Grand Island.
How was that? Was it
was a basement apartment.
Sketchy Grand Island, like, I don't know.
It was just a shitty place. It was like, you know where that Mighty Taco is on Grand Island?
Yeah.
Across from Fantasy Island?
Yeah.
Those apartments.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, there's not shit to do on Grand Island, but it's just kind of.
We were just there living. Like that was, and it was like easy for us to get to work. It was in between UB and it was in Niagara Falls.
Yeah,
so.
That's a good point.
So after that, we packed up and moved to Boston. Just in terms of like the reason we moved to Boston is just like to better our lives in terms of like what's available to us for our careers. Like there's just more opportunity there, I guess. We saw more opportunity there for us. So yeah, moved to Boston.
Moved to Boston, and then how long did you work the job in Boston before? Or you were probably working a job in Boston, then the pandemic. Yeah, like shut down your job, right?
So I had the job interview. It was weird. The timing was really weird. Yeah, COVID really screwed things up. But when I went to where I lost my train of thought. When I went to
job interview.
Yeah, when I moved to Boston at first, I was just doing like my job got like paused for a while. They're like, yeah, we can't hire anyone right now because of the pandemic. So I just did Instacart. I just delivered groceries to rich people. Mm-hmm. And that actually ended up being a pretty good gig.
Really?
Yeah.
Decent money?
Yeah, in the beginning, and then people caught on, and then it was like terrible. Like Instacart for some reason just started like hiring like everyone. They just let everyone join Instacart, and then like there was no opportunity for anyone. So there was moments where we were making like crazy money in a week, like almost like $2,000 a week doing Instacart. Wow. It was crazy. It was like we thought we were like in like a scam or something, but then it just like went downhill. Just like everyone started joining because that was the only job you can get at that time if you weren't collecting unemployment.
Mm-hmm. And then so you actually worked a job in Boston though, right?
Yeah. After Instacart and everything, I then got the job with it's called the DCR, the Department of Conservation and Reservation. So it's like the parks in Massachusetts. So yeah, I got a job with them, and I worked there for just under a year, I guess I could say. And then I realized that I could live off of TikTok and what's going on with that, and I, just for my own sanity and my own life, I thought can't pass up that opportunity.
How long did it, or did it like take some how long did it take you to make the leap from going job to just TikTok?
Yeah, it took a bit of time. At first, I thought it was like when I first started going crazy, I was like telling people like, "Yo, I'm like TikTok famous now." I was like, what's going on? People are like, what are you talking about? Like, I thought
wear a shirt with the TikTok shirt.
Yeah, I just wear a TikTok shirt everywhere. That's whatever. But I thought it was going to be short lived, but it just kept growing, and I never lost my audience's attention. And so, it took from the moment I posted the TikTok to like when I finally quit my job, it was probably like 6-7 months.
Wow.
I mean, it's not to say that I'm like set for life or anything. I mean, I might have to go back to work one day, but I just want to enjoy this moment as I can and live it as long as I can. I love making art, and that makes me happy. So if I can do that for a living,
and shaking ass.
Yeah.
How do you like to schedule your days since you're your own boss?
I'm bad at that.
You gotta work on that. I feel like that's really crucial. Probably. I would assume that's
it's very crucial. Well, it's dependent on my wife's schedule because I drive her around.
Oh, okay.
So I'm part chauffeur, part is that what they're called?
TikTok shaker.
Yeah. I don't have a good schedule. I just paint when I feel like painting, and I make a video when I feel like making a video. But I keep it consistent. I do it often.
I wasn't expecting. I figured you'd have like a
I'm
set.
I'm not an organized person at all.
Or maybe that's just not how you are. I guess.
No, I'm totally not. I'm so unorganized. So I just do as I feel. I'll it's like in terms of video, I'll study the analytics, like when I should post, when I shouldn't post, and like how many days apart, like stuff like that. I'm conscious of. But in terms of like just day-to-day living, nothing. Just like I usually go to bed at like 3-4 in the morning though.
Holy fuck.
So I work.
Wow.
That's the only time I can really focus on my painting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I got loud neighbors, and well, they're not loud, they're just nosy, and so
okay.
I don't know. They're always like, because I work in the basement, I got these kind of big windows, and they watch me when I work sometimes.
Shit.
So
are they aware of like you?
Some people in my neighborhood know, and it kind of worries me.
Oh, jeez.
Because I think about myself, like thinking what 5 million followers means. Like I would think that person would be like so I think about myself last year at this time. If someone had 5 million followers, I think, oh shit, they're rolling in dough, they're doing good. So there could be some like scummy dude that finds out and think that, have that in their mind. Reality, you'll just be robbing like my toothbrush or something.
Yeah, he did pull up with armored guards though in a Suburban. That'd be funny though.
That would, for what?
I know, right? Exactly. Don't touch his hands.
This place has crazy parties.
Don't touch his hands. Don't touch his hands. Get away from his hands.
Yo, I got small hands though.
Decent hands.
No, look.
They're like.
No, put your hand like.
Well,
on
you
mine.
got like fatter fingers. Oh wow, yeah.
I got tiny hands.
Tiny hands is short and fat.
Tiny hands. I got little Trump hands.
You don't need big hands nowadays. You don't need big hands.
I was malnourished as a child. That's why I have small hands. Is that what that's called when you're like?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you CPS. Yeah. So I was gonna ask if you're a morning person, but obviously not. If you're going to bed at 3.
But the funny thing is like I think that's why I hated working so much, is because I always had to work at 6 a.m. So I'd wake up every day at 4:30 in the morning. So now that I can go to bed at 4:30 in the morning, I'm so much happier. It's like it's just rebellious. It just feels rebellious. It just feels like I'm happy now. I'm doing whatever I want to do.
And so do you make a video every day, and do you post?
No.
What's your schedule with like making and posting and things like that? Do you keep them backlogged?
Yeah, I have like videos where, like, if my account's like not doing good, I have videos that I know will do good. I just have a bunch of videos stored, and like I try to post like every other day. That's my model. That's it.
How do you know if it's gonna? Because you've studied the analytics, and
I know
like what depend, like, is it the color?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
People, it's a weird like study on people, and I ultimately, like, when I think about like what my intents are with my platform and everything, and I genuinely, I mean, it's great that I like am financially like have like income from it, but it's also like in terms of, people's day-to-day life, like we're always on our phones scrolling through nonsense entertainment and stuff. And if I can slow people down even just for a minute and like just like let them watch an art experience, like it's like someone who makes like a really good song, and like it slows people down and makes people think like, oh shit, this is a good song, and they like think about art for a moment without even knowing it. And so that's like what my goal is to just like make people aware of, because so many people don't even know how color works.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
So many people don't know anything about art at all. So if they look at a video and watch me mix a color, maybe like subconsciously next time they're in like Walmart or Target or I don't know where else they would go, but they might pick up a paintbrush and like,
yellow green yellow blue that shit,
and just pursue art. Like, and I think even like grander like plans is like, or ideas is that the more people that make art, I generally think the happier people will be. Like I'm sorry about my phone.
That's it. This shit's over.
But the more
no respect, you famous people.
Shut up, Mom. When should I order pizza?
Yeah.
But, like generally, the more people that create art, I think the happier. Like, or just create anything. Like if you create something, like I think you're probably going to be a better person.
No, yeah, if you make and then like you have something to look back, be proud of. Exactly. And yeah, that's because like obviously we've been making things forever, and like and there's people who haven't done that ever
in their life. Like, well, I mean, how would you feel if you could never, like, you couldn't create anything anymore? I would want to die.
No, yeah, it'd probably explode or something. Yeah, I don't even know, because like, me and Christian talk about that all the time. Just like some people, like I don't even know what people do.
Some people get bored.
Boys be bored out here.
I think bored should be eliminated from the English vocabulary. Wouldn't people be better? Like just like humanity would be better if bored didn't exist. The word bored didn't exist.
Yeah, if everybody was just on because I don't know, like being bored for like an hour is cool, and then you're like, all right, fuck this shit.
Why is anyone bored though? There's so many things you could be doing.
There really is. Yeah, you could be fucking
so many things.
You could be walking somewhere. You could be abusing alcohol somewhere. You could be I don't know.
Well, that's what people do when they're too bored. They abuse alcohol.
It makes being bored fun.
Or you can use alcohol when you're creating something. That's also fun.
Yeah.
Nothing better than a cold pop and making a painting.
Big. Have you become an IPA guy?
I like IPAs. But I don't want to say I'm an IPA guy.
No, yeah, of course not. But
I do like when I go to like a bar and stuff. That's the first thing I'll look at, because it does also get you the most fucked up.
That's true. They're usually
it hits you quick.
I don't know. I'm still just a shitty beer.
I love all beer, dude. I just don't like dark beer. People who drink dark beer just love to suffer.
Just fill you up like
they
right
just
away.
Hate life.
Yeah, just fill you up right away.
It's disgusting.
I had some Bud Light Limes recently, pretty good. And then this the 4th of July, we did you've probably never done this, but we did the wizard staffs where you drink and then you like tape your drinks on top of each other.
I know what you're talking about.
No, yeah, we did that, and then
is that just like to see how long your pole will get?
Yeah. Well, you just have to get it like as long as you get it up taller than you win. So we did that, and that hangover was horrible.
How many beers did you have?
I had like 13, and I felt so shitty the next day. I swear, like it felt like somebody kicked me in the kidney.
Jesus Christ. Yeah,
it was horrible.
I haven't had a hangover like that, but that.
Oh
like,
no, you're probably responsible. You're married. You can't have a hangover.
No, I like to have fun. I like to drink. I drink a lot.
Well, he's a wild boy.
I'm an alcoholic.
Functioning. I'm drunk right now. I just drove here.
No, I did just have a couple beers with my boy Jack and Pat.
There you go.
Yeah, I had a shitty Bud Light.
Really?
I like shitty beer.
Out of the tap or out of a
bottle?
Okay. I'm more of I like Miller Lights out of a can.
I love Miller Lights.
Miller Light, that's my shit.
I drink. That's probably my Michelob Ultra and Miller Light are probably like the two go-to beers in terms of like what should I buy in the store.
That's Bob's. Bob turned me on to Michelob Ultra Lights.
It's like the Diet Pepsi of beer. It's you're kind of lying to yourself. You're like, hey, it's only got 2.6 carbs.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Uh-huh.
But
96
if you
calories.
drink 13 of them,
You're still gonna fucking.
you know those people, they drink Diet Pepsi and then like they'll drink like a whole case of Diet Pepsi and like,
lose a leg from diabetes, lose both their legs. Actually,
it's not good.
I actually had a babysitter when I was a kid who, big Diet Pepsi guy, double amp,
2 hands Diet Pepsi,
double amputee, baby.
oh like
Double amp.
oh shit,
Yeah.
from Diet Pepsi.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
And he worked at some chemical factory on Buffalo Avenue, so that probably did it as well.
where they made Diet Pepsi.
Yeah, he worked at the diet. It was actually really convenient for him. It saved him a lot of money, but then in the end game,
I was addicted to Diet Pepsi for a little bit.
in what years?
Like all of my childhood.
Really? Really?
No, for a while though. Like when I was like probably 9th to 11th grade, I would only drink Diet Pepsi.
Fuck.
It was not healthy.
I haven't had a.
It's addicting.
I haven't had a. They definitely taste different.
It's a drug.
Is the diet thing in it? You think the diet's more addicting than the regular pop?
Yeah.
You think
No,
really?
Yeah.
Really?
No, dude. Diet Pepsi's when I have a Diet Pepsi, it's like I'm relapsing.
Your face just like starts sinking in.
I get all excited. I'm like,
like a needle with Diet
all right,
Pepsi.
we're back, boys.
Yeah, exactly.
No, there's definitely some shit in there. It's not good for you.
Fucking A.
Stop drinking Diet Pepsi.
Yeah, pick up a beer.
Drink alcohol instead.
What would you rather have, a beer or a diet?
Put anything in front of that.
Yeah.
What would you rather have?
Beer before anything, a wise man once said.
Oh, yeah, I like
boy.
beer.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but 13, man.
That's hard.
It's a lot.
It's hard on
It's
the...
a lot. Were you drinking crazy when you were at FIT, or you were just doing?
No, I was just learning how to drink.
Oh, okay. What's?
I had 4 Lokos. Like that was the first time I
Oh,
drank.
boy.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was probably horrible.
Yeah.
I've never had a Four Loko. Never.
Really?
I think I've had a sip. I never finished a full one, but never had one in my possession.
That was my first alcohol experience. Was
Jeez.
drinking a 4 Loko in New York City by myself, and my friend from Bulgaria was with me, and I was like kind of like he was like staying in my room, and he I lost him. I didn't know where he went. Like I woke up the next morning, didn't know what was happened, and I didn't know where he was.
He was like hiding under the bed or something.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh boy, that's crazy.
I remember there was a point where I was like on the ground, like drawing portraits of people, like crying.
Jesus Christ.
So
Crying sauce.
yeah,
FIT. Those. I remember being in Christian's dorm once. Those dorms
suck.
Those dorms are very shitty.
Shitty. FIT's got the worst dorms ever. They advertise New York City to be this beautiful grand place. Like you're going to live in Manhattan. And I remember my first move into my first room. There was a bunk bed, and then there was one bed. So there was. Who wants to have a bunk bed as like an 18-year-old kid going to? Why would you want a bunk bed? Why would you want to be bunking with someone?
There was 3 people, so three
people in a room. I mean,
It was maybe a little bit bigger than
a little
this.
bit bigger than this.
Holy fuck.
It was bad. Like I couldn't believe it. And it was so much tension. There was so much. It was so bad. It was so shitty.
Yeah, you're fucking 18. Just started drinking. Started fucking.
Oh my god. It was terrible.
No, yeah, and then like Christian was either you or Christian. I don't remember. They said like some like grown ass man like lived in the dorms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe it was you that told me that. Then there was like some like random like dude who was like renting it, and then I think he like maybe he went ballistic or something, or somebody. I don't know. Maybe I'm just
I remember there being a grown ass man. So that the rest of the story I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah. Well, the people that like people. Big shots at FIT like lived in the top floors of those dorms.
Really?
It was weird. They like had like I don't know, like their own penthouse or something, like legit apartments above the student dorms. So yeah, and the security guards are brutal. I mean, we got in trouble so many times from them. I remember one of my friends got like kicked out of FIT because he got like written up so many times. They would write you up for anything. If they heard a bottle, they would write you up. They'd like assume already like you have beer. You couldn't drink. You couldn't do anything. Even if you were 21, you couldn't drink in the dorms.
God, that's horrible.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Fuck. I was just gonna say something, and then I forgot.
Story of my life.
Story.
I'm a goldfish.
I forget shit all the time.
I'm worried about myself.
My dad's got like I think my grandma definitely has dementia.
Yeah, well, take your turmeric.
Yeah, what's is that a
I
vegetable?
don't know. People always say turmeric helps.
Is turmeric.
I don't.
Is
I
it
don't
a
know.
spice?
Yeah, turmeric, the root. I don't know if it helps. People literally say that for everything though. Like my arm hurts.
Yeah.
Take turmeric.
I wonder if Miller Lite helps with dementia.
I heard it does. I heard it makes you want to forget things.
Yeah. And I think it. Oh boy, it helped. Did you do anything cool for the 4th of July?
No.
No. Wait.
No.
When did you get into town?
Yesterday. Yesterday night. Yeah, 4th of July. My wife worked, and so I got my tire replaced.
Oh, that's fun. There you go.
4 hours to change a tire. I waited in the lobby.
Holy shit.
Assholes.
Fuck.
Well, it's the 4th of July. I gave that to them.
Yeah, that's true. Fucking A.
4
And then how
hours.
long are you here for?
Here till I'm leaving Friday morning.
Oh,
I'm back. Yeah.
shit.
I'm just in town to do some art-related things, deliver some paintings and stuff, but
Shake some asses, shake some
Shake-
hands.
shake some ass on TikTok all around.
Oh, you're doing some like cool stuff at the falls, I would assume.
No,
or-
I'm not gonna do it this time. I'm exhausted from TikTok. I just wanted to take the week to relax.
Take the vacation.
I-
Yeah.
I'll be going to France in a couple weeks though. I'm do some
Oh.
TikToks there. So if
Wow.
you care at all about
Be
my
on the
stupid
lookout,
TikTok
folks.
account, look at
Holy
it.
shit, that'll be cool. Wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else Niagara Falls related, and then I forgot once again. So,
It's all good.
you got any parting words? Any Miller Lite? This is the Miller Lite parting word of the episode. This is sponsored by Miller Lite. Any parting words there, Fritz?
I forgot it because of Miller Lite.
I forgot everything.
So you're a big fan of that? Been seeing you post on Instagram the William Montgomery guy. Oh, he's hilarious, isn't he?
Too funny.
If you have never watched the show Kill Tony,
Tony.
Yeah, you got to watch that show. That's like the greatest podcast ever, and it's like a huge proponent for freedom of speech and like the sacred aura of comedy, like being able to say what you want in the comedy space. It's I think it's pretty American. It's pretty great.
No, yeah, Will. He had a really good set this last episode that came out. I think it's with Ron White. I don't know if you caught it yet.
Oh yeah, I watched it on the way back. It was
that
pretty
one
funny.
is fucking hilarious. He's really funny.
Yeah.
And he's doing really well. I think he's opening up for like Joe Rogan and
Yeah, he's got an interesting like style of comedy too, where it's like it's like really it's like almost avant-garde, like in terms of like his humor. Like it only clicks with I think people like in our generation. Like it's like some obscure form of like meme comedy that we've developed just through like internet culture. It's like something that wouldn't like fly. Like people, if you did his style of comedy like 10 years ago, people would be like, "What are you, like a sociopath? What's wrong with you?"
And like he doesn't really tell stories. He just kind of does like little like one-offs that don't really connect to each other too much. And he even like reads off of like a sheet of paper for the most of the time. When most stand-up comics they'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But it works for him. And they even talked about that in the last episode of Kill Tony. Like,
oh really?
Like don't even change it up. Like if it works,
Yeah, if it works,
fuck
it works. Yeah, it's just that show I think is like really important though, just because
So
like
good.
it's like in terms of like watching people, like if you like I'm a people watcher. I don't know if you are. I'd love, like I could sit in a park and just watch people all day. I think people are so fascinating. And that show gives people like 1 minute to go on a stage in front of an entire crowd and try to put on a stand-up comedy act for a minute. And so you get like these just people that you couldn't make this shit up. Like the things that they say, the things that they do, the things that they think is comfortable, the things they think is funny. It's just like a really interesting perspective on human psychology. That's like generally why I watch it. I'd like want to see people like do terrible. I want to see people do good. It's hilarious.
Oh no, there's some people where like it's just like you want to like plug your ears, and then others like that do great and it's awesome, but it's all just still super fucking entertaining. And yeah, Tony Hinchcliffe's cool, and like Brian Redband, I think he like started the original Joe Rogan podcast with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I heard something like that. Yeah.
And he's like a stand-up comedian as well, but he's not really.
He's like a new stand-up comedian. He's been only doing like 10 years or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, and then I think
making shit up.
Yeah.
Damn Miller
Podcast
Lite.
historian.
Let's just make shit up for the rest of the time. Here.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, but he's funny. But yeah, some of the shit's fucking crazy. But and like obviously Tony Hinchcliffe, he just had like a whole cancel thing. But
He got
then,
canceled.
Yeah, but then like
He rebooted it the American way.
yeah, exactly. And then like he came out the episode after being canceled. He's wearing like a priest's uniform.
Well, who's that? Who's running for mayor in California? Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
And I guess what is the proper way? They? I don't know. They.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what their pronouns are actually.
I don't know.
Now that you mention it.
But I will just assume they, because I think it's okay.
Yeah,
but,
blanket term. Yeah, yeah, it covers both bases.
Their like whole like thing that they're saying is like they're gonna cancel culture. Like that's like their motto, I guess. It's pretty interesting.
But back in the day, I guess Bruce Jenner, he like ran over somebody. He like killed somebody.
Yeah, who cares about it? It happened. What was it? 20 years ago.
The past is the past. The past is the past.
It's just crazy. Even politics are abstract now.
Oh yeah, fuck that shit. But Brucey could run. Let me tell you. Oh shit, we're almost at a minute. We're at about probably gonna be like 56-ish minutes. Pretty
quick?
Pretty solid, yeah.
How long do you always do it? Just an hour, or do you?
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it just depends.
You want to just go for a little bit?
Yeah, we go for a little bit longer. I don't know if you're like feeling it's a little spicy, but I could probably go for another. I could keep going.
Yeah.
Are you like sweating?
No, I'm good.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, because we got like a furnace behind the camera there, and we're burning coal. We got a coal shoveler behind the camera. So yeah, what do you want to talk about, man?
I don't know.
Anything you want, baby. It's your world, baby.
Should we pause it and just get a beer or something, and then continue?
Shit.
Or you got things going on?
Yeah. Well, I gotta work. I gotta be up at 5 a.m.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Where do you work?
I work at a hotel, very close to.
What hotel?
Very close to the Maid of the Mist area.
Oh, you don't want to say? Yeah.
No, yeah. I
I know,
not that
I
it
know.
really matters. I mean, it's the one hotel brand that you would assume that it's like I don't know, just the one ubiquitous, ever omnipresent hotel brand. You could perhaps it's in a song or two, but yeah, I mean it's
okay.
It's I don't know.
I had a friend who worked there.
No,
I know
yeah,
you're
it's
talking
kind of
about.
ridiculous. There's like people.
I've heard stories.
People like shooting up heroin in the rooms and like beating their kids while they're shooting up heroin, and
So you get quite the perspective on life, huh?
a lot of real smart people come through those doors. Let me tell you.
So what do you do at the hotel?
Front desk clerk. So
my
I
wife
just
used to. That's what my wife did in Thailand. That's what she did. She used to work at the Courtyard Marriott in Niagara Falls. She used to do that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's all right. I make better money than I made at the mall, which is nice. And I got out of the mall after I was there for like 6 years working at the mall. It was fucking horrible.
It's gotta be
Like,
depressing.
I like the people that I work with there a
Yeah.
lot. Like they were kind of like family type folks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just like
In terms of dealing with Karens and shit. Like
no,
just miserable
yeah,
people.
yeah, exactly. I'd have like crackheads like throw dollars at me. Look at my cat's trying to get into the door.
cat?
Yeah, that's Gypsy. Yeah, she's
Gypsy.
really cute.
I
She's scared of people though a little bit.
What are you then?
No, yeah, she's scared. She's scared of new people. She's scared of new. No, I'm a furry actually, Fritz. I'd like to address me as a cat.
Another thing we have in common.
Yeah, I'm hiding my tail.
she's
Look
a
at Gypsy.
Gypsy.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was
beautiful.
she was chasing a fly earlier. Yeah, she's like she's part Mancoon. Look at
She looks a bit like Salvador Dali.
Yeah, she's backing out a little bit. Oh, she doesn't want to. She better not fucking step on my laptop, or I'm gonna throw her out the fucking window. But yeah, hotel guy. After getting out of the mall, got my cat here sniffing on my laptop.
My wife told me a pretty funny story one time about. I think I heard it on your podcast when I was driving one time. When I was driving here, you were talking about Amish people in your hotel. Well, my wife had an Amish experience in her hotel, and what they wanted to do. Well, they just decided that they wanted to do it. They brought like one of those Coleman grills in the lobby, and they started a fire and started to cook food in the lobby. Those Amish boys, they run on their own rules. They don't care.
They're not about that electricity shit.
They started grilling in the middle of the lobby food.
That's so,
They thought that was acceptable.
that's so fucking. And this was in Niagara Falls.
Yeah,
Oh my god, yeah.
I remember when I worked at Niagara Falls, like, and you worked there too for a little bit, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you never worked there. some of those Amish kids, man, they were troublemakers. When an Amish tour would come, we'd have to like take cover. It'd be like, all right, code 4. So we'd have something like prepared. Like they would like. I mean, there was times where like they would be like on the opposite side of like the railing at Niagara Falls, like playing. Like,
Oh my God.
Jeremiah, what you doing?
Jebediah, get the fuck over here. Get the fuck over here, Jebediah.
Yeah, I love the Amish. So I have a real fascination for them. I think they're the most interesting people in the world. They do not make sense at all.
I was talking to some Amish dude in the lobby at my job, and he was just like, "Oh, like what's your shift?" I was like, "Oh, like 7 to 3." He's like, "Oh, like that's pretty good." And then we were just like shooting the shit about regular stuff, but he's got like his top hat and his beard, and we're just like, and he's got like a smartphone. It's like, what the fuck are we
He
doing?
must have been a Mennonite.
Is that like a hybrid?
Those
That's like a Tesla.
They're the hybrid Amish. They're allowed to enter humanity and have things like that. And so they're Amish. They're happy Amish people. But there's another story I have of the Amish. One of my old coworkers, he kind of lived in the sticks a bit. And he lived near an Amish community, and he would tell me that the Amish make great dentures. And he told me that his girlfriend got dentures from the Amish.
Holy shit!
Could you? I didn't even ask because I didn't want to be rude, but just thinking about like an Amish man working on anyone's mouth.
An Amish dentist office. You're just like sitting on like a bale of hay.
Making
with, like,
dentures. What are they
with,
making the dentures from?
With like a fucking pickaxe in your mouth, like fucking drilling out your teeth. Jesus.
Yeah.
But like the women, like I think when they turn like 16, they're allowed to have like a couple days into like regular society to decide if they want to.
Breaking Amish.
Yeah. You know about that? I don't know what it's called.
They had a TV show about it.
Oh, that was the whole premise of the TV show. Was
they
just
go
girls.
to New York City and like get drunk and like I don't know what I'm doing. They'd have like no teeth at all, and the people it'd be like 17 years old, like full dentures, and they'd like one of the things they did on the show regularly was take their dentures out and show their gums.
Oh my God. And just fucking like just dump a bunch of Amish people in like the Bronx or something.
Wouldn't that be crazy if like they designated a plot of land in like a major city for Amish people? Like they made like an Amish concentration camp well, maybe not concentration camp because that's not good, but like an Amish camp in New York City. That would be a really interesting dynamic. That might happen if you believe in the simulation theory. That might happen soon.
So do they all like live in Pennsylvania, or is there like
there's a bunch in New York State. They're all over the place.
Every state, you think?
I think they're mostly around here.
In like the East Coast-ish, northeast?
And then you go out west and it's the Mormons that pop up.
Oh, okay. And then that's like multiple wives, right? Or something like that? They believe in like John Smith, who like...
Joseph Smith. They believe that, I think it was in Rochester or Syracuse. They're both the same, I think. Rochester.
There's no difference.
They found like the third book to the Bible in their backyard. God told them, and this might not have been Joseph Smith. There's some other Brigham Young. That's another guy. I don't know how they all fit into the story, but yeah, they found a book in their backyard that God told them was there. These golden tablets, the third book to the Bible, and their job, Joseph Smith's job was to take the people to Utah, the promised land. And he wasn't to show the people the golden plates because that was against God's will. So he had to write it down in a book. And that was officially the third book to the Bible, I guess. And so he took these people to Utah. They followed him in Salt Lake City, and they built a huge church. And now they have a flourishing community in the entire state of Utah. It's just Mormon people everywhere. And there's good Mormon people. Their intentions are good, but it's just really culty. It's really culty. The story is so... It makes no sense at all. Like, if you want to like question Christianity or anything, I mean, there's like things that like, are a bunch of bullshit, and there's things that sound kind of true, but then like you hear the story of the Mormons, and it's like, what the hell are you talking about?
They found the tablet in the Syracuse Orangemen's basketball arena.
What the hell?
After fucking Jim Boeheim fucking killed somebody with his car or something.
The Church of Latter-day Saints.
That's crazy.
There's a really good musical, the Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon, yeah, it's by the South Park dudes. And
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see that, but that's how I learned about Mormon people was through South Park. They have like a really funny episode.
That was my
Dum-da-dum.
my entire everything I just said was I learned from the play, the Book of Mormon. So take that with a grain of salt. What I just said.
Fuck.
But yeah, that play is hilarious. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like literally, the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life was that play. It's hilarious.
You can like watch it on like Netflix or something.
I haven't seen it anywhere broadcasted.
Or you need to watch it in person.
Yeah,
Oh, geez, I don't.
it came to Shays.
Oh, fuck. Wow, that would be funny though. Yeah, both
Dude.
those dudes are really funny. Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Yeah, if they ever come to, you have like everyone has to go. It's the funniest thing in the world. I mean, like the jokes that they make are like things that no one can say anywhere else. Like they make the craziest jokes ever. I don't know. I'm just gonna say go see it because I'm not gonna like try to like
spoil it or anything.
yeah, it's-
Spoiler alert.
holy shit, it's funny.
Fucking. No, did you watch South Park when you were a kid? Because like when I would watch it, I'd have like certain ones of my friends over here, and like their parents would be like, "Oh," and they'd like show up, be like, "Oh, you're watching South Park right now? Like you can't be watching fucking South Park."
yeah.
But my mom was cool with it.
Yeah, my mom didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
We
same.
went to Niagara Falls. We heard worse shit in school than we
Yeah,
did on TV.
Exactly.
South Park is the great show.
Oh no, yeah, and I feel like you're either like a South Park or like a Family Guy person.
Yeah, I guess I would say I'm more of a Family Guy person, but I love South Park.
No, yeah, South Park, like, I don't know. That's just like that. And like, you ever watch like Mad TV before?
Yeah. Or like Adult Swim
Yeah, Always like when you'd like stay up at like 3 a.m. with like your
after
friends. when
George
you-
Lopez.
Yeah, fucking,
Do.
just like staying up late with your friends, like when you're fucking 15
Mm-hmm.
to like 3 a.m. Would you ever like go to like Walmart and like steal shit or anything, or like do shit like at night, like ding dong ditch or fucking?
I never stole anything. I was always terrified to do everything like that. But I remember I went ding dong ditching one time, and when I was a kid, I was kind of a heavier set child, and I would always never be able to catch up with like my friends.
Ah, shit.
So they would like people would yell at me, and I would be like, I didn't do it. They're over there.
You have to have rollerblades to keep up with them or some shit.
Really,
You have to have a
though?
fucking bicycle.
Yeah, I was always a scared kid to do anything like that.
No, fucking, or like me and my friends, we'd like fucking like sit in my front yard at like night in the wintertime and like throw throw like snowballs at cars, but like obviously it's coming from the front yard because we're like sitting in like a little fucking snow fort. It's like so obvious, but it's so fucking stupid what the shit that we would do when we were kids.
Yeah, I remember one time. This goes to show who I was as a child. I was with my friend, and he threw a ice chunk at like this glass window at like some. They were having like these old people were having like a church meeting. They were like all sitting together, just like talking about God and stuff, and just doing church related things, eating finger sandwiches. And he threw an ice chunk at the window. It didn't break. It just like went.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then some dude came out like chasing us, and he was like said he was a cop. And then like I said, I was slow. My friend was already booked it. He was gone. And then I like said to the guy, I'm like, it's him. He did it.
Oh.
Because I didn't want him to do it. I was like, why are you throwing that ice chunk at there? Like I was like trying to be rational about it, but I was being a little snitch bitch.
Fritz the snitch,
Fritz the
baby.
snitch.
No.
Yeah, that's me.
Fucking creepy. What kind of cops hanging out at a church?
Yeah, he was like, do you know who I am?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
shouldn't you be like nice if you're coming out of a church, like not trying to fucking chase a kid?
Yeah, then he told me, you should look out for who you hang out with, kid.
Oh, yeah, moral lesson right there. Yeah,
Thank you, Papa.
yeah. Was that the fucking that one church that's like right near your house, or was that
Yeah,
the one
around the
that's-
block. Yeah, where everyone would go and like piss.
Oh yeah, that spot. Yeah, wow.
They had like that thing you could jump down on. It was, you know what I'm talking about?
Uh huh. Yeah, exactly. I know what you're
And like
talking
the
about. Yeah.
like the bottom of the staircase would just be like full of like a piss puddle because
Mhm.
people would just go there and piss. And then the guy that lives. I don't know if he still lives there, but there's a house nearby.
Yeah,
that he
right
was a
next to it.
crazy dude.
Really?
Yeah, like if you got on his lawn, he would like come out of his house and like threaten like to kill you. Like, I'm gonna kill you. Get off my lawn. He was a crazy dude. Yeah.
No, like that church used to be a hang back in the day. We'd all like ride our bikes over there and
Yeah.
like then fucking, yeah, like either, I don't even know what we would do, like throw fireworks back in that little spot with the fucking little ledge, but I remember that ledge being there and it being super cool. It's like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
it was like the place we hung out, play street hockey there, play hide and seek as a kid. I mean, that was then sledding in the winter because I had that hill.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good hang.
Good hang.
Public infrastructure.
Public indecency. All right. I reckon ready to call it quits. I got
Alrighty.
sweaty palms. I need to wash my mitts.
It's toasty.
All right. Bye.
Ciao.